This is Ashish, and I'm here. We'll be talking to you for next about 30-35 minutes, where we'll be talking about future of online teaching. And this would be uh, not about how to teach, because this is what most of the teachers know, and most of the people in this group would be knowing how to teach. This would be kind of sharing the experiences which I've shared these with my colleagues, my friends in the online teaching environment. And so I thought it would be a good opportunity to discuss this. Before we really deep dive into it, let's take few important uh, scenarios. Like, I mean, why we are sitting here. The trends are changing, the things are changing. So we have to understand and change with the scenario. So as I always say, the only thing that is constant is change. And with the online teaching, the things are changing. So we'll be talking about that aspect. Let's start with what we'll be covering today. So as while registering, you might have seen that uh, there are certain things which are quite important for the environment, which is the first and foremost thing is the mindset. uh, Teaching in an online environment is very different from what anybody teaches in a classroom environment. It's a huge difference between the two. So actually, we'll try to understand what changes that are required in an online teaching, in your thought process. The next one with is basically the empathy and engagement in the virtual classrooms. So there have been a lot of instances where people have come up and said that we don't get a lot of uh, engagement with the students. So we have to understand why the engagement is low, and that is what we'll be covering here. Another point which is very important is the shift in education. So we have to believe that why this online education is coming up. So we have to believe in it to impart this. So we have to adapt it. Uh, and in an online environment, we have to be more of a facilitator than an instructor, because the way the online teaching environment works is with the new invent of AI and flipped classroom models, things have changed. So we have to be more of a facilitator than an instructor in an online environment. Last but not the least, the assessments, which is very important in an online education, because in with the NEP 2020, things have changed, where the assessments are considered to be both a formative assessment and a summative assessment. So in an online environment, it becomes more imperative for us to follow a proper system of assessment, so that we collect the feedback and do the changes and change our strategies in real time. So this is what we'll cover. So without delaying the fact, let's get into the first topic, which is embracing change. But before embracing the change, we have to understand what is the current scenario. The scenario of education in online learning is projected to reach about 375 billion by 2026. These are the numbers which are the global numbers, not the India numbers. So you can see there is a huge uh, kind of a paradigm shift from a conventional classroom teaching to an online teaching. And 92% of the educators believe that digital teaching will remain a central point. And these are the numbers which are given by leading research organizations across the world. Then 70% of the students prefer hybrid or blended learning models. So this is something which is a very important point to understand the online environment system, teaching environment system, primarily because if you get into a purely online education, there are certain pros and cons. If you get into hybrid, there are certain pros and cons. But more and more people are opting for hybrid learning, uh, where there are a lot of benefits that are attached to it. We'll be talking about it during our session today. And the we will be also talking about what role the interactive tools that are used, that are and that should be used in an online teaching environment to keep students engaged. Last but not the least, uh, digital literacy amongst education educators have grown 65% since 2020. So in just last 5 years, we have seen that the literacy rate has gone up amongst the educators. So th- talking about the readiness, 93.4% of faculty members can operate basic virtual classes, which means Zoom or Google Meet or something like that. But you have to understand that the online classes is not just simple uh, Zoom or Meet classes. It is much beyond that. So it involves a lot of interaction, lot of feedback systems, lot of polls. I mean, it's kind of moving from online teaching 2.0, which is kind of more interactive, more persuasive, and more engaging. Last but not the least, there is a huge gap between the uh, training requirements and the skills that are required for an online teaching environment. That is also what we'll be talking about in next 25-30 minutes. So the benefits, obviously there are a lot of benefits that are attached to it. So the perceived benefits what we have, especially we have seen that in the medical education field, in an online environment, about 40% of the online learning is flexible. I mean, that can be alternated in an online education. Now I specifically, why I'm talking about medical education is that it is perceived that in an online education, especially in medical field, you have to have an actual person teaching you with a actual actual person or an actual object which you can work upon. But in medical also, about 40% of people have moved to online education through uh, simulators, through online models, and so on and so forth. uh, Hospitality, which is again perceived to be more of a system where you have to give actually a situation where a physical environment has to be provided, but that has also moved to blended learning, which includes a lot of soft skills and hard skills that are required to be imparted in an hospitality business. This is one of my last slides, which is based on uh, a kind of a survey which we did it in India recently, where we asked the respondents across India, and there were about 2,500 respondents, which we asked about 10 different topics about faculty able to run virtual sessions to the faculty without formal training, how they would run the sessions. So we could see that mostly 93% of the faculty, whether they have been in a urban or a semi-urban environment, are able to deliver virtual sessions, which is a huge shift for us. And we have also seen in India, where the internet connectivity is supposed to be uh, quite good enough, still we are facing that 62% people are facing internet connectivity as a challenge. We've also seen that there are people who are still uncomfortable teaching online, which is 50-50. And that we have tried to work upon with a lot of our own faculties across different platforms which we have. And we have seen that things are moving, but they're moving slowly. So if we see that blended learning has a future, where 80% of the people have said that it has a future. So um, lastly, people have said that uh, there is a poor student interaction which has to be worked upon, and that is something which we'll be probably discussing again. All right. So we have done this first point, and we have to be talking about, we were embracing online teaching mindset. It is very important for all of us who are there to understand that are ready to embrace it within ourselves. Are we mentally prepared to deliver the sense online? If we are convinced, we can go ahead and convincing and properly giving this proper delivery for the students. So there are certain questions that we are getting online, and we will be addressing the questions at the end of the session. So let's get to this session further. So embracing, that's first thing we uh, that we have to really understand, uh, that uh, build digital confidence. People right now are very, very comfortable. If we talk about online education, people say, let's create a Zoom link, send it to everybody, or create a Google Meet link, start a Google Classroom, and so on and so forth. And whether it is interactive or not interactive, we don't care. That is where the most important thing is. We have to go beyond the thought process of Zoom or Google Meet link, because it is very, very important to include a learning management system with these platforms, because that is where uh, a delivery can be easily improved upon, and that can change your mindset that, okay, I'm able to deliver it properly, including all the additional things that are to be imparted. Say for instance, in a normal classroom environment, you ask a question, uh, say XYZ, that who would like to answer. So students will come up and say, okay, I do it. They raise their hands. There is a system of raising hands in LMS, in Google or Zoom Meet also. But how do you address who has raised their hand first, who has raised their hand second, and who is trying to ask relevant questions? Like recently, we did a poll. What has what gave us an immediate feedback about the group thought process? So that these things can be also imparted and included upon these kind of interactive tools. There are many tools like Kahoot or Mentimeter which can be used. These are uh, though these are paid tools, but they have their free versions also that can also be used upon and to deliver these online classes. Most important point: practice before the class. uh, it has been the case that in a normal brick and mortar class environment system, uh, teachers were used to just go to the classroom, use the blackboard. Uh, it is very, very important for us to practice upon before we get into a class. uh, in a brick and mortar environment or an older normal environment, uh, it is still it was still possible, because there were options and you could see the feedback of the students upfront immediately if you falter or if you're not able to deliver. But in an online environment, these feedbacks are slightly slow. So if you practice, it would be very, very uh, pertinent to say that it will reduce your anxiety. And the tech glitches, you have to understand there could be certain tech glitches here and there. Don't get perturbed with it. If there are tech glitches, it happens. It is what it is. But you can repeat, you can keep on asking about the feedback. Like I just asked, is there a problem with the volume? Because these things will happen, so you that should not uh, kind of bother you, that Array, what has happened, why, what will happen if there is a glitch. So don't worry about it. If you have practiced enough about the content, about your delivery pattern, it will build your confidence. Next is focus on engagement, not just on delivery. Very important. So uh, these days, an average learning time of a student in an age group till 15 is 8 minutes. Believe me or not, it is 8 minutes. And for a senior learner, it goes up till about 25 to 30 minutes. So should not try to do or deliver anything in a monologue way for more than 10-15 minutes. Try to break it, try to get feedbacks in between, try to create breakout rooms, create quizzes in between, so that the students and the learners are also active enough. They will look forward for a poll. It's really, really important. And uh, share your mood. I mean, right now you would be feeling that I'm just delivering this in a monologue where I'm not even smiling and I'm kind of so dull. Don't do that. Try to keep on, try to be happy when you are delivering. If, because the learners always connect. This happens in a normal classroom environment also, but it happens more that if you are feeling engaged, your learners would also feel engaged. So that's very, very important. Keep on checking. Is it okay? Are you able to hear me? uh, are you able to understand? Or kind of, okay, let's stand up and kind of uh, do some exercise so that there's more of involvement. People, so just keep on engaging with the students so that and your learners, so that they come back to the topic more easily and understand what you're trying to deliver. Next, personalize and empathize. Very important. Unless you are able to fit yourself into their shoes, you will not be able to uh, deliver properly, deliver what you're there for. So the learning can only happen if you put yourself in their shoes. You can empathize with them, and you have to be flexible in deadlines. Like you say, in a normal classroom, bring it tomorrow. In an online environment, you have to tell them what you have to bring, how you have to bring, how it has to be delivered, whether it has to be delivered in a Word format or in a PDF format. Set your deadlines, set realistic deadlines. And also, uh, you have to also support the students individually, in a sense that this session is happening on a Saturday evening. So probably there would be a lot of people who are there in this session would feel, why are we sitting here? It is Saturday, it's time to enjoy, let's go out, go for a party and all that stuff. That could also be a thought process. So whenever you are creating a cohort, or you are setting a set of learners, bringing them together, make sure that you support your students individually and understand their requirements and solve their doubts. So those sessions should be accordingly uh, created, so that the students are also very, very interested in doing that. Next, develop assessments and feedback skills. It's kind of very important to understand the feedback. I'll be talking about the feedback later in my subsequent slides also, but you will see that I'll talking about the feedback again and again, primarily because feedback is important, especially in an online environment where you are not connected directly with them. So I was talking other day to one of the leading educators who is connected with the UGC, and also an ex vice chancellor of a leading government university. He said, for me, quote unquote, he said, for me, the distance learning starts from row 2 in a classroom, a physical classroom. So that's the kind of mindset uh, that senior educator had. So in an online environment, you are not there with anybody. So you have to be very, very mindful of the fact that assessments and feedbacks have to be collected quickly and on regular basis. Don't put in lot of videos and audios. Put short videos, and uh, be quick in what you are trying to say. Don't try to repeat things again and again. Commit to continuous learning. That the How do you commit? It's not that the students have to do everything. We as educators also have to do a lot of things. There are a lot of faculty development programs that we should continue doing it on the platforms like SWAM, NPTEL, AICTs. There are a lot of organizations which do FDP, faculty development programs. Continue doing that. We have as a facilitator in an online education environment, we have to upgrade ourselves, and don't shy away of using AI tools. We cannot just say no to AI. AI has come into our life, especially in education, faster than any other sector. In education, if we as faculty or educators or teachers have access to AI tools, students also have to have the access to AI tools. But as facilitators, we have to understand the AI tools much better than the learners, much before than the learners, and we have to embrace it faster than the learners. So don't shy away from that. To our slides. So the next point which we would be discussing would be building empathy and engagement in virtual classrooms. It's very important to understand, as I said earlier also, that to get into their shoes, to start with empathy, uh, try to minimize the connectivity issues, try to make sure that there are no home distractions. Home distractions can be as simple as that. If you're taking a class from your home and there is somebody who is cooking food in your kitchen, and there could be noises coming, reduce that. It's very important because as it is, the engagement level has to be worked upon, and it's slightly lower than in a classroom environment, physical classroom environment. Avoid these distractions, so the learners are not distracted by any background noise, and they are happy with the technology they are working with. You cannot just do away with all the things together, but try to reduce it. Understand their situations also. uh, Provide recorded lectures. So there has been a case where in one of the universities in northeast, I won't name the university, where the faculty was telling the students to go to, I mean, they were sharing certain YouTube videos with the students and telling them to go through those YouTube videos and then come to the class. So kind of a flipped classroom model he was trying to adopt. And there was a major hue and cry. Why YouTube? It is uh, not a content which is already peer reviewed. Yes, but why don't we really kind of go through all these videos ourselves as facilitators and see which are the good videos and share it with them, share it with them before the class, and post the class, if it is possible, share those videos and lectures with them. It helps in kind of reiterating what you have said, and it helps them to learn the content much easily. uh, then always start with the check-ins, like, hey, XYZ, how you doing? I hope uh, things are okay at your end, because that way you can connect well with your learners. You were not there yesterday, all good. I heard that there was some problems at your end, how things are. So all these things you can continue doing it. It will really help to set the context of your session, because people will feel that yes, the student or the trainer has empathy with the students. Do that. Check-ins are important. Make students feel seen. So what happens is, if you have a session of, say, about uh, 50 people in a classroom, and everybody has switched on their videos, their cameras, how would you know that uh, they're uh, they're really seen? Because it's always there that the students or the learners want to be acknowledged for what they have delivered, what they are saying in the class or in a session. So always try to acknowledge if somebody contributes to it, and motivate based on the contribution of your learners, so that the others can also be engaged in the classroom. Yes, camera culture. There have been instances during the COVID days where people were new to this system, and they were trying to find out the via medias to avoid their switch on their cameras. But we have moved on from those days. Post COVID, people are interested to switch on their cameras. Why? Because they want to be feel acknowledged in their contributions, what they're saying in the classroom. Please do that. It's important. And Celebrate small wins. Say a project is given and somebody says that I've done only 25% of the project, and the deadline is, say, about 2 days away or 3 days away. Celebrate it. Hey, great, man, you have done 25% as a group. It's something amazing you guys have done. So keep on celebrating that small instances that is happening. Uh, Announce that for first 10 days, if everybody uh, I mean the full attendance people would be recognized in the class. It's these small things that can really uh, feel people acknowledged, and they would come to your session regularly. uh, Build interactive engagements. As I said, quizzes, but there are certain good interactive tools which I have mentioned, two or three tools. There are again paid versions and the free versions of these tools that are available. uh, Start using these tools in your sessions. Breakout sessions, again, it helps people more to connect with the facilitator or an instructor. Why? Because you can get to know what they are thinking as a group. So what you have delivered, it also helps in getting the feedback, and it helps in increasing the uh, collaboration way of imparting education or imparting your knowledge. Because then people would also feel that yes, we are learning together. It is not that it's a monologue, one person comes and trying to deliver. So that is what it is. So do that also. Encourage open communication. So uh, to get constructive feedback, you need to have uh, a free space for questions. Keep on asking questions again and again. In this session, because of paucity of time, we are not engaging too much, because you might feel this instructor is just giving a monologue and uh, saying something else. But it's just that because the timeline is short, so we are just touch basing and taking an overview. Take questions, regular questions. Uh, it will help for constructive feedback. The third topic of the day, which is adapting to digital shift in education. So transformation is happening, and we cannot stop this transformation. So we have to be uh, quickly adapt to this digital shift. So first one is how to do it is upgrading teaching strategies. So it has to be both synchronous and asynchronous. Why? Because in a online environment, a recorded video or a recorded session would give a learner a kind of a heads up into what would be taught to them. Or a asynchronous recording or a recording would help the learner to understand what has been taught to them or shared with them, and to kind of reiterate to the learner that this was taught to them. So it's very important to have both synchronous and asynchronous kind of a delivery. uh, Monitoring attendance helps in performance and engagement. If a person is not regular, try to engage with them in terms of uh, be empathetic to them. Uh, Try to ask them questions. What happened? Why were you not there? Is anything wrong? So try to monitor attendance and try to engage with them so that they will be uh, kind of coming regularly. That will improve the attendance and improve the engagement also. And experiment with AI powered feedback tools. Again and again, I would say that please don't uh, feel shy of using AI. It is important. It is part of our delivery models. So please use these tools. There are a lot of tools which are free tools that are available to collect feedback. Uh, a simplest and the most used tool is SurveyMonkey, which can be used. They have a paid version and a free version also. There would be certain limitations. If you don't want to use that, there is simple feedback tool you can use. Go and create a feedback form on Google. and you can just send them a feedback on that also. So it's very easy. Keep on creating it. uh, uh, keep on using tech experiments to take feedback. uh, Collaborate with peers. Use best practices in digital resources. By using best practices is that use uh, hands-on labs when you are trying to deliver something. There are labs which are available, like um, uh, uh, we will address those questions, Ankit, in between. We will address those. Yes, we have noted that. So there are certain labs. People say that uh, how can you teach civil engineering student about creating a structure? That's a very important question. But there are labs which are available, online labs which are available, where you can, there are simulators available to use these practices and use these labs to deliver your learning. uh, so that's how you can innovate your teaching. You can change your teaching style. uh, Give access to these labs and these new technologies to your learners. They will be learning by doing it, rather than you telling them how to do it. Tell them to do it, and they will be learning in a much faster way. Just guide them. Be a facilitator again there. So then also, again, my point, maintain personal connection. Then only you will be able to kind of adapting to the digital shift. So by personal connections can only happen in an hybrid environment. In an online environment only, where it's only a synchronous delivery, there are ways and means of how to do it, where you can create uh, periodical check-ins, but they don't, they are not as good as what a hybrid delivery models could be. So do it, and do send regular question answers. If you are not able to check in with the students regularly or learners regularly, send them question answers which could be both open-ended and closed-ended. It's like innovating and adapting, which is becoming a facilitator and not just an instructor. So the role of a teacher is changing in an online environment. Yes, you are more of a guide and not just a giver. So for a guide, you have to have a student centered learning. Keep on asking questions and create more discussions in your uh, delivery. Because in an as a learning guide, you are more of a problem solver than just imparting a knowledge to them. So they would be learning by themselves, or they would be learning by what you have guided them, and try to solve their problems rather than just telling them how it has to be done. Make them do it. That will increase the engagement level also. Foster active participations, as we have already said. Breakout rooms, real world scenarios, that is very very important. The case study method, it has been tested, uh, that case studies are important, but case studies with real, connecting them with real world scenarios which are current, and people can connect with it. Try to include more. It is very important to include real world scenarios, because you can ask more questions if you include the current scenarios. Because case studies, you can give the case studies and people just say do it at their leisure. No, include more scenarios in it. Next is encourage self learning, and that can happen through flipped classrooms. Give them reading material, give them different uh, study tools where they can read it. Avoid giving them open source material. Try to give them authentic material which they can read, and which are first tested by you, and they inculcate more idea of reading with them, rather than just telling them I will come and teach you. Ask them to read more first. uh, so this will help you to uh, teach the learners how to learn. So there is a very good course available on one of the EdTech platforms, which is Coursera, where people say the course name is Learning How to Learn. So people should do it. There are courses available on platform on AISECT Learn also, uh, where you have uh, a course on how to engage. So you should try to go to different platforms and see uh, how to engage people and how to make them learn rather than teach them. So this is very pertinent to say that how to learn is very important than how to teach them. Using technology enablers, there are certain collaborative activity platforms like Padlet, Micro, Google Jamboard, which are available. Use them. There are free versions of Google Jamboard available, so it's kind of an online boards which you can use. Use them. It's very very important. Which is modern assessments and feedback strategies. There are a lot of tools which are available, uh, and I'm reiterating the points which have been. It's kind of a summary of what we have been saying because that helps in increasing the engagement. Keep on giving projects, case studies. Always replace final exams with short quizzes. In one of the polls, we have seen that feedback percentage was only 8%. It was in single digit. So if you increase engagement and make them and teach them how to learn, uh, the final exams are not required. Keep on engaging them in micro assessments, keep them engaging them with small quizzes, short interactions, projects. It will change the final system of uh, what we have been doing, final exams, and then try to give them a percentage and put them in a category: very intelligent, less intelligent, and so on and so forth. Try this out. It will improve your evaluation system. Use AI assisted tool. One of the tools which has recently come up is Gradescope. I have tried working on this. It's a very good AI tool to do it. It is paid. Right now, the free version is not good enough. But if you there is a trial version available, try using that. It's pretty good. And uh, keep on using audio video feedback. It helps in engaging the personal touch. So uh, it's obviously a two-way street. Feedback collected from the students. uh, Encourage self-assessment. Keep on asking, do you want something more? Are you able to understand? So it's not the feedback of the students, it's your feedback from your learners, that if something has to be changed, if your mode of delivery, you are very am I very fast, am I going slow, were you able to assess what I was saying? Keep on getting this self assessment also. It will help. And always try to take a kind of a 360 degree feedback from your peers also, your fellow teachers and faculty members. It helps. It really helps because it helps you improve and take it positively. These feedbacks. It could be sometimes very very brutal, that some of your feedback could come as in, you were fumbling, you were not good enough, you were too fast. Take it as a positive feedback. It will help in improving your delivery going forward. Uh, Focus on skills and not just scores. As I have said earlier also, don't worry about the scores, what they are doing it. If you are able to impart a skill, that will stay with the person forever. They will stay with your learner forever. If you try to just teach them the definition of something, if you have seen a movie called Three Idiots, where somebody was asked to define a machine, uh, what was a book language definition and what was the actual language definition. I would go for an actual language definition. It could be longer, but it was more practical. So keep on doing it. So change the rubrics of assessments, how it has to be evaluated. Don't just evaluate them on marks. Evaluate them on their presentation skills also. Evaluate them on their knowledge of the concept, rather than how it has been put on a piece of a paper, or put it on a piece of an assignment. That is important. So impart skills, not just go for the scores. So probably the last of the polls that is coming up on your screen now is: which modern assessment method do you feel most effective? Continuous quizzes, peer review, project based evaluation, or AI assisted grading? If you have used these skills, these assessment tools. Let's go to our screen next. So, to summarize, uh, it's very important to keep learning and stay flexible in an online environment. Uh, it helps in your confidence, your delivery methods. So keep be flexible, be agile in your delivery methods. If one thing is not working, try to bring up with a new way of delivery systems. Be Use as many interactive tools as possible, so which can foster inclusion in your delivery methods. Master your LMS tools before your delivery sessions, so that your delivery can be both synchronous and asynchronous. Uh, Guide learning through discussions, as we have been saying, it's important. Uh, Use continuous diverse evaluations and provide timely constructive feedback. Keep on giving feedback and collect feedback from your learners, from your students. So it will help on uh, giving you better options. It will help on delivering your learning to your learners. So be more flexible in the end, and use as many discussion forums. Use as And don't shy away from AI tools for your delivery. If you're facing challenges in technology, we can work on it. If you're facing challenges in embracing it, uh, we have to work on it. So yes, blended learning is a best way forward, and we cannot do away with this. And with the new concept of having the gross enrollment ratio in the education system, especially higher education system, where the NEP wants to go up till a level of 65% in next 5 years. We have to have online learning, and we have to embrace this as soon as possible, so that we can uh, uh, be embracing it and delivering the best possible learning